smart architects. So in our previous videos we did how to design a full flyer, a pizza flyer in Photoshop. So in this video we are going to learn how to apply materials in our bedroom plan or our floor plan in Photoshop. So before we start with this or today's lesson, if you are new to this channel, kindly hit on the notification button, subscribe to this channel, and if you are already an existing subscriber, kindly let me know in the comment section. I'll give shout out in our next videos. Okay, so before we start, this is how the Photoshop interface looks like. So this is the floor plan that we are going to apply the materials to. So before we start, you have to go to internet and download all your materials, the textures. So let's say this floor plan, for instance, let's say this area, I'm going to apply a grass texture to it. I already have grass texture over there. I'll just go to desktop. What I'll do now is I'll go to file, go to place embedded, and I'll go to desktop, textures. Yeah, so this is where I have my textures. So I'm going to click on the grass texture, then click. So I'll wait whilst the image is being progressing. Okay, so once I have the image, just maximize the image, or if it's too big you can minimize it, or you just reduce the size. But then one thing is, you have to try and get or define the pattern in Photoshop. If you are able to define the pattern, then you make selection and apply the texture to the selection area or the selected area. So let's try and define the pattern. So this time around we are not going to go to the file, but then we are going to open a folder where we have our textures. Then I'll just click, hold and drag the textures to here, not the working station, but then to the top where the menu is. I'll just release it. So you see that another menu will open which has the textures only. So I'll then go to edit, then go to define pattern. So I'll click on the define pattern, then I'll label the pattern grass. I'll click OK. Yes. So now I have defined the pattern. So I'll go back to the floor plan that I was working on. So I'll just select the layer or the file. So I don't need this texture again because I've already defined the texture, the pattern. So I'll just delete this one. I'll press Alt plus the scroll button. I'll scroll to zoom in. Once again, I want to assign the texture to this area, this particular area, the grass texture. So since I've already made or defined the pattern, I'm going to make selection of this area. So I'll go to the menu or the tools menu. I'll go to where I have the magic wand tool. I think it is the second tool. So you have to right click. Let me do here. Okay, so the fourth tool, then you right click on it, and you go to have the magic wand tool. So you select the magic wand tool. Once you select it, you wait for it. So we are going to make selection of this area. So I just have to rasterize or unlock the layer or the background. So I'll click on this one to unlock the layer, and now the magic wand tool, then click on this selection of this area. So I've selected it. So I'm going to apply grass here too. So you make sure that your add to selection is on. Then you click on this area as well. Then you wait for a while. So you see that we've selected all the areas that we want to apply our grass texture to. So you come back to where you have your layer, then you go to the create new flow or adjustment layer. You click on it, a menu will appear, then you select pattern. Once you select the pattern, by default Photoshop will give you some leaves pattern, so you have to change it back to your grass texture. So you click on this small arrow, then you select your texture. You can see that I have a lot of texture here, so I will choose the one I want. So maybe I want to select this texture. Don't forget you can also adjust the scale in Photoshop. So I'll just click on the scale. If the texture is too small, I'll just increase the scale. As you can see, if you don't like it so large, you can reduce it. Get it? Yes. So now we have our grass texture here. Click OK. So we are going to make another selection. So before we make that selection, we have to select the layer first. Don't forget, in Photoshop we work in layers. So I'll select the layer 0 here. Then I'll define another pattern for the hard landscape. So I'll come back to where I have my texture. So I'll open the folder, go to desktop, go to texture folder, and I'll select the hard landscape texture. Now click, hold, drag and bring it here. So once you get to the menu, you release. So you are going to define the pattern, the same approach that we used for the first one. I'm going to go back to the edit, go to define pattern, then you label it maybe bitumen pattern. Click OK. So now we have defined the pattern. So you go back to the floor plan, select your floor plan, then you select your layer 0. So I'll make selection of where I want the hard landscape to be. So if you want to zoom in, once again you press the Alt and you scroll up. I don't know for yours, mine, that's the settings I have. So I'll just select where I want the hard landscape to be. Just make some selection here. You wait for a while. Okay, so now I have the selection, so I'll go back to my where I have the layers. Below the layers you can see some symbols there. So this is the first, second, third, fourth. So the fourth symbol, you click on it, you see a menu, then you select what pattern. By default Photoshop will give you leaves pattern, so you have to choose the pattern that you want. So I'll choose the bitumen pattern, so I'll select it, then I'll change the scale and adjust the scale. So this is the scale. Click OK. So I'll go back to, now I'm left with the wooden pattern for the floor. So I'll have to define the pattern as well. So I'll come back to the folder I have the pattern in. I'll choose the wooden pattern, click, hold and drag, and I release it here. The same approach, go to edit, go to define pattern, then you rename it maybe wooden pattern. Click OK. Go back to your floor plan, select the layer, choose the magic wand to select the floor you want to assign the wooden pattern to. So I want to assign the wooden pattern to all the floors. So I'll make selection, select, zoom in, now select, select, okay. Okay, once you have the selection, go back to where the layer is. Below the layer, I'll click on the fourth symbol and I'll go back to the pattern and choose a wooden pattern. I will adjust the scale. Now I have the scale. Okay. So this is how we apply the materials or textures to floor plan in Photoshop. So we are going to end here, and now in our next video we are going to learn how to add some things to it so that you reduce the opacity and all that, so that you blend the texture for it to look so good. You get it? Yeah. You see how Pinterest, the floor plan you see in Pinterest, how they do it here. We are going to do same here, but then we are going to do that in our next video. So if you didn't subscribe to the channel, kindly subscribe, and if you didn't like the video too, please like the video and share it to your friends for them to also benefit, and leave in the comment section your rating for this video. Rate this video for us. And if you have any other method that you use to assign your materials or textures in Photoshop, kindly let us know in the comment section. Alright, thank you very much for your time. See you in our next video. Bye bye. And don't forget, I'm going to give some shout out to the first 5 people who comment under this video. Okay, bye.